Hey everybody, Brian here, Strike TV, Backstage Access. Tonight we're back at Main Street Crossing for another sold out show from the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mickey Gilley.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate those kind words.
Man, thank you. It's he sells them out here and he sells them out everywhere. I appreciate you taking time to talk with us, to catch up. So we've talked in the past, and of course, look, Gilley's is worldwide, phenomenal. I don't know of a place probably in the country you couldn't go where they wouldn't know.
Well, I'm very appreciative of the fact that the urban cowboy craze has lasted 40 plus years.
Yes.
I can't not get over the fact that the music is still out there and the people still enjoy that music.
They're enjoying you because they're here. It's sold out. I looked probably a month ago for tickets because I was talking to Tommy and I said, hey, I want to go to this show. And I was like, man, that dang thing's sold out. What the heck?
Well, when I found out that the booking was going to come through, and of course we played it here before.
Yes, sir.
And it's not that big.
Yeah.
But it's always an honor and a pleasure when you do get a sellout. If it's a 50-seater and you sell them out, that's good. If it's 100 feet, 100 seat or 200, 3, 4, whatever it is.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'd like to say I could fill a football stadium up like some of these acts are doing, but that's impossible.
Well, so what's funny is, so we talk about 40 or 50 years ago, you weren't born in Texas.
No.
But you came to Texas to work construction?
Right.
So what kind of, because I know Tommy, he helped Gene Watson build a garage or something. He helped me do my house. So what kind of construction? Do you remember, was it any particular place that you may have built or did something?
No, I wasn't trying to build anything. We were laying a storm sewer and sanitary sewer pipe for the city of Houston. So I was working on a cruise like everybody else, and my father-in-law at the time was the one that got me the job because he was the foreman on the job, and I did a little bit of everything for him.
Yeah.
Because I was just a kid then, I just 18, 19 years old. Yeah. And just trying to get started in life, and so that's what I was doing at that time.
So so that was the 50s and 57?
That was in the 50s, 53, 54, 55. And I made my first recording in 1957.
Ooh-wee baby.
Yeah, and that song later became a commercial for the Yoplait Yogurt Company in Ireland.
Ooh-wee baby, I love you so. When I kiss you, baby, I never wanna let you go.
Pashy fellow with loads of more fruit.
And I made quite a bit of money off of it.
I was about to say, did you get a bunch of yogurt? Just give you the money to heck with the yogurt,
I could have bought a lot of what they gave me for that to use that song. Yeah, I could have bought a lot of yogurt.
Wow. So then, not too many years later, you catch your second single or the second record, and Kenny Rogers.
Well, my first chart record. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
I'd recorded a lot of music in
Yes,
between
sir.
that time, but my first chart record in Houston was a song called "Is It Wrong for Loving You," the old Warner Mac song.
Yes, sir.
And the guy that played the bass guitar in the recording session was Kenny Rogers, because I recorded the recording session with his brother. His brother Leland was a record producer and
Yes, sir.
promoter and that type of thing. So I did the recording for Leland, and it was on Potomac Records of all things.
Wow.
But it charted in Houston.
Yes, sir.
But it didn't get any bigger than I think got in the top 10 or something. But it was okay. It kept me working, and that was a good thing. In 1963, I had another short record, and I'll do the song tonight for you. It's called "Lonely Wine."
Nice.
It was my second chart record, and that song kept me working.
Right.
But then I had a 10-year gap where I was making records and trying to get them played, but nothing was happening for me. But in 1973, just so happens I did a song on my little local TV show, and the lady had the jukebox in Gilley's. She called me over one night and she said, "Today on your TV show you did my favorite song." I said, "What was it?" She said, "She called me Baby All Night Long." I said, "Yes, ma'am."
Wow.
I said, "That's a Harlan Howard tune." She said, "I know, I'm in the
Harlan
jukebox
Howard.
business." She said, "I want you to record it for me." I said, "For what?" And she said, I got 300 jukeboxes. I'm going to put them on for you out there in the, the Houston and the Pasadena area, and to be good for you in the club. And I told her at the time, I said, next time I get a chance in the studio when I'm working on some music for the television show, I'll record She Called Me Baby for you. Just so happens, about 3 months goes by, she approaches me again. I said, I'm going to call a session and do that song for you. I went in the studio to record She Called Me Baby All Night Long, and for the flip side, I picked the old song Room Full of Roses, which became my first #1 song in the nation.
Wow.
So Room Full She Called Me Baby All Night Long was responsible for Room Full of Roses being #1, so to speak, because I never recorded Room Full of Roses hadn't it been for her asking me to go in and do that song.
And on the B side.
So it's, fate.
Yeah, and then even you were opening for Conway Twitty.
I was working the road with Conway after he heard me do Room Full of Roses at the club, Gilley's.
And then
he came down to play the club, and he had heard the song on the air, but he hadn't put two and two together and figured out that Mickey and Gilley's were doing the same. But he heard me when I opened the show for him, and I did Room Full of Roses. It dawned on him, hey, this is the guy's got the record, and that's when he asked me if I had an agent, and I said I didn't think so, and she says, I'll have somebody down here to talk to you. Sure enough, this guy shows up. Lo and behold, it was owned by Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn.
Wow.
So he sends this guy in. I'm impressed because, how many times you get to meet a superstar like Conway Twitty, and he takes time to talk to you about because you got one #1 song. He had more #1 songs than any man on the planet at the time.
Yeah.
And I've got one.
Yeah.
and he's just, you got an agent. I held on to Gilley's too after Room Full of Roses went #1 because I thought maybe I might be a one-hit wonder.
Mm-hmm.
But it just so happens that the country music fans accepted me into the limelight and gave me a total of 17 #1 songs in my career. So I can't complain.
No, not at all. Wow. So speaking of fans, we have a few fan questions.
Okay.
Maybe we used to wrap up here a little bit. So Jesse Cruz and his brother Joe Cruz, they actually played Gilley's. They played a few times, right, back in the day. So so tell me some of your favorite memories about the Gilley's. I mean, I know it was from 71 to 89, so it was a lot of years, but is there any times that really stand out to you that was good memories of people?
Oh, absolutely. And when we opened the club in 1971, it would only seat about 700 maybe 800 people at the most. And that was in 1971. Right after we opened the club up, a few months into the operation of Gilley's, I acquired this local TV show, and I started doing this TV show, and I told my business partner at the time, I said, if this show works, we'll fill this club up. And sure enough, the TV show worked because I didn't know what I was really doing, except for the fact that I was sitting home and I'd watch the show, and I said, oh, I can't believe I did that, or I can't believe I did this, and try to fix things, as I went along. And I got a little bit better as we swung through the performance, week after week, because we had 13 shows, and then we'd cut another 13, and then they'd rerun them. Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is that on account of the TV show is the reason why I had a hit record with Room Full of Roses, because hadn't it been for the TV show, I'd have never recorded Room Full of Roses.
Mm-hmm. So now we have Gail from Dallas. So when was the first time you heard your song on the radio? Do you remember any time in particular?
I heard "Is It Wrong for Loving You," and I was very excited about it because it was one of the first records played after all the music that I had been doing down through the years. It sort of stuck out because it was a chart record. It made the charts, and I mean, I had other records that was played, but they didn't do anything at all. But I remember that one, "Is It Wrong for Loving You," because it charted, I think it got in the top 10 in the Houston area.
The top 10, that's awesome. And our last question here, Rochelle from Mumble, said she actually discovered country music from listening with her neighbor. And now she turned her 16-year-old son onto Mickey Gilley. So, how does it make you feel? Because there's people out there were kids about the younger generation that still 40 years later, or younger kids that aren't even for that just loves Urban Cowboy and Mickey Gilley.
I can't get over the longevity that the Urban Cowboy soundtrack has created for country music, because it's still out there. And Johnny Lee and I got together about 4 years ago, and we put together the Urban Cowboy Reunion Tour.
Yes, sir,
and
yeah.
we started traveling and playing all these different casinos and filling them up, sellouts just about everywhere we went. And this was at the time that Johnny Lee was starting to deal with Parkinson.
Yes, sir.
And
yeah.
so then I found out it was very difficult to get him back out on stage with me. So we changed it and we started doing what we call the Urban Cowboys Ride Again. And he does his bit and I do my bit, and then we don't go out together on the stage anymore. But I get a kick out of the music industry with doing the shows. When I walk out, sometimes I tell the people, I said, folks, my friend Johnny Lee's dealing with Parkinson and I'm dealing with old age, and they both suck.
But the good thing is both of you don't suck. So that's the good thing. So to find you, find your concert dates, to buy some music, it's MickeyGilley.com.
Gilleys.com.
Gilleys.com.
And they can go to my Facebook page, Mickey Gilley's
page.
personal update page, and I try to put all the dates on there, and try to keep them updated so that they'll know where we're going and what we're doing. But this pandemic thing that happened, it knocked the wind out of all of us.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah, it did.
I'm hoping that we get back and are able to do the shows again on the road. I don't know how long I can continue to go. I'm fixing to be 86 years old March the 9th. Keep that in mind now, it's my birthday.
That's right.
You can
So,
send me a present.
That's about to say, you can send me some presents. Look, Facebook, I'm sure if you mention that, it'll reply. Well,
March the
man,
9th, I'll be 86.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, it's been a
We
pleasure.
appreciate you. So, guys, check him out. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for staying tuned. Brian here, Strike TV, Backstage Access. See you next time.